Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, as I mentioned already earlier today, CPI data today. Be aware of additional volatility, some distortions. We see some nice volatility today, however, pretty meaningless volatility. We're still moving in the overall range. Bitcoin risks falling back into the previous price range here, this sort of 48-hour price range that we were stuck in. Yesterday the price broke out, moved up to the, let's say, the breakout line here of those previous swing highs. There was some resistance there. The price actually formed a higher high today, which went pretty much in line with the previous wave count I had on the chart, but that higher high was very weak. So I've modified the microstructure a little bit just to account for that pullback. And again, my confidence in this wave count is still low. Okay, so as I said before, we are dealing with a diagonal pattern in the best case. So this 5-wave move up is in the best case a diagonal structure. Can we trust diagonal patterns? No. So if you watched previous videos, then you know that we can't trust these diagonal patterns. They are choppy, they are unreliable, and they will morph very often. So that means extra caution is required. That means you might want to trade smaller, you might want to trade less, or you might just want to trade the larger time frame. Yeah. So what we're dealing with here is still unchanged. An initial 1-2 setup, then the A wave up in wave 3. The B wave pullback might have indeed bottomed on the 12th of August, and we could be in the C wave rally. As I already said yesterday, the C wave might be a diagonal, but the shape, the microstructure within that C wave has changed. Yeah, the look of that diagonal pattern has changed. So that's due to the pullback today. And we could be dealing here with an AB structure in wave 3. But overall, what is really important is if the larger third wave can get to 66,880. This is really key. And this is really important. Because if the third wave can't even get there, there is no viable third wave. It could easily be something different. So that's the next milestone target. Obviously, that involves that the bulls manage a successful breakout above the green line. And for now, the orange support region, the support parameters, they remain unchanged. They remain relevant. Support is between 56,280 and 58,555. This is the relevant support region highlighted here in orange. And it supports the idea that we could be in a third wave in this diagonal. Whether the B wave already bottomed on the 12th of August or whether the B wave is still unfolding. In both cases, this is sort of a bullish structure still. However, obviously, with low confidence because of the risk that these diagonal patterns just have. It's just a high risk pattern, because they change very often. Why do they change very often? Because the subwaves are corrective, and corrective structures like to change. So until we really get those 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to 69,260 or higher, confidence remains low. But the parameters are there to guide us, and 56,280 remains weak support. I did say yesterday already, it is weak support because we're dealing with diagonals, and for B waves, the support levels are weaker than for example, wave 2 corrections. They are less definite. And nothing is for sure in these markets. And something is certain, and that is that if we get a break below the red line, and that's at 54,600, then we have invalidation of the white wave count, because that's the invalidation point. There's no wiggle room left, all right? And in the very short term, it seems as if this B wave to the downside, which by the way is an A, B, C structure, this B wave to the downside still seems to be unfolding. What this B wave shouldn't do is break below what I've labeled here wave 2 low. Okay, we could even say maybe was this wave 1, wave 2, and then A, B, C, and wave A. That's possible as well, actually, but that actually looks better to have this as 1, It looks better. Just has the right look. But any break below that 58,490 level would be the invalidation point for the idea that the third wave has started. Now, if anybody's surprised that the third wave is so choppy, that's because we're dealing with a diagonal pattern. Yep, third waves shouldn't be so choppy, but in a diagonal, they absolutely can be. So be aware of this structure. I'm not giving you these warnings without reason. I always try to warn when we're dealing with these diagonals, and it's best to treat this structure as if it can fail until we get those 5 waves. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.